Welcome back to Old Charles, the channel where we dig into the stories and the value behind the coins we often overlook. Today, we're tackling a question I get all the time: Alex, what's the deal with the 1974 Kennedy half-dollar? It's a coin that millions upon millions of Americans owned. It feels modern, it's not made of silver, and most of the time, it's worth, well, 50 cents. But there are specific, rare versions of this coin that are absolute treasures. So, grab your coins and let's get into it. To understand the 1974 half-dollar, we have to take a quick trip back in time. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964 as a memorial to the assassinated president. It was a huge public demand item. And crucially, those first ones, from 1964, were made of 90% silver. They had real, intrinsic precious metal value. But that changed fast. The price of silver was rising, and people started hoarding these silver coins. By 1965, the U.S. Mint had to make a change. They removed the silver from dimes and quarters, and for the half-dollar, they created a clad composition, an outer layer of copper-nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. The 1974 half-dollar is part of this clad era. It has no silver content. So, right off the bat, for the vast majority of 1974 halves, there is no precious metal premium. Its value is purely numismatic, based on its collectability. In 1974, the half-dollar was minted at 3 different U.S. mints, and this is our first key to understanding its value. You need to look at the mint mark. The mint mark is found on the reverse, right below the claw of the eagle on the shield. If there is no mint mark, that means it was made in Philadelphia. If there is a small d, it's from Denver. And this is the important one for collectors: if there is a small s, it's from San Francisco. Wow! Look at that. Over 200 million from Philadelphia. So, in circulated condition, a 1974 p half-dollar is, frankly, a face value coin. It's extremely common. The Denver minted coin, with 79 million, is a bit scarcer, but still very common in circulation. But that S mint mark, that's where things get interesting. So, you found your 1974 half-dollar and you've identified the mint mark. Now, the single most important factor in determining its value is its condition. A coin that's been rattling around in a drawer for 50 years is very different from one that was preserved perfectly. If you have a 1974 or 1974 D half-dollar that shows wear, the high points of Kennedy's hair are flat, there are scratches, and it's lost its luster, then you have what we call a circulated coin. For these, the value is purely face value, 50 cents. You might be able to sell it to another collector for $1, but realistically, it's spendable money. There is no hidden fortune here in circulated grades, but what if your coin is bright, shiny, and has all its original luster? It was saved from circulation, maybe in a mint set or an old bank bag. This is where we enter uncirculated territory. For a standard 1974 or 1974 D in a nice mint state, MS, condition, like MS 63, values are still modest. The Denver coin is a bit scarcer in top condition, so it often carries a small premium. But we're still talking about a few dollars. The real value jump happens when you get into super high grades. Now, let's talk about the 1974. Yes, remember that mintage of 2.6 million? That sounds like a lot, but here's the catch: the vast majority of these were not released into circulation. They were sold directly to collectors in specially made proof sets. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially polished dies on polished planchets. They have a mirror-like background and frosted, cameo-like design elements. They are the pinnacle of coin quality from the mint. So, if you have a 1974 S half-dollar, it is almost certainly a proof coin. And they are beautiful. In a standard proof condition, what we call PR 65, a 1974 S proof half-dollar is worth about $5 to $8. It's a very affordable and attractive piece for any collection, but, and this is a huge but, within these proof coins lies one of the most exciting and valuable varieties for the entire series. This is it. The coin that can turn your 50-cent piece into a four-figure jackpot. In 1974, the U.S. Mint conducted a small experiment. They produced a limited number of proof sets using the old 90% silver composition. That's right. While almost every 1974 half-dollar is clad, a tiny fraction of the 1974's proofs were struck in 40% silver. How many? Estimates suggest only around 2 million of the 2.6 million proofs were made in silver. That might sound like a lot, but over time, many were broken out of their sets and spent or lost. High-grade examples are truly scarce, you cannot tell the difference by looking at the front. The key is the edge of the coin. A regular clad coin has a very distinct look, a bright silver-colored band in the middle, with coppery brown lines on either side. You can see the copper core. Now, look at the 40% silver proof. The edge is solid silver. There are no copper lines. It is a uniform, silvery color. This is the single, easiest way to identify this valuable coin. In a lower proof grade, PR 60-63, you're looking at $10 to $15. In a superb gem grade, PR 66, values jump to $20 to $30. In the highest grades, PR 67, PR 68, PR 69, the value skyrockets. We're talking $100, $500, and even over $1,000 for a perfect PR 69 specimen certified by PCGS or NGC. That's right. A flawless 1974's silver proof half-dollar is a $1,000 coin. Beyond the silver proof, there are a couple of other things a sharp-eyed collector might find. This is a popular error where the design was stamped twice by the die, creating a slight doubling effect. It's most visible on the motto, "In God We Trust." While not the most dramatic double die, it is recognized and collected. A nice uncirculated example can be worth $50 to $100 or more. Look for any weird bumps, blobs, or raised lines. These are caused by cracked dies and are called cuts. Depending on the size and location, these errors can add a $10 to $50 premium for the right collector. So, let's recap the 1974 half-dollar, circulated 1974 or 1974 D**** worth 50 cents. Spend it or keep it as a curiosity. Uncirculated 1974/1974 D**** a few dollars. Regular 1974's clad proof $5 to $8. The jackpot 1974's silver proof check the edge. Could be worth $15 to over $1,000. The moral of the story is, never assume a modern coin is worthless. A little bit of knowledge can turn a common find into a rare treasure. The first half-dollars were struck in 1794, following the construction of the first Philadelphia Mint, flowing hair 1794 to 1795, and draped bust, 1796 to 1807, designs. These early coins were made of a high silver purity, as dictated by the 1792 Act. These coins were crudely struck by hand-powered screw presses. The 1796 to 1797 draped bust variety featured a small eagle on the reverse, which was later replaced by the heraldic eagle in 1801. They are highly prized by collectors today due to their rarity and historical significance. Designed by John Reich, this featured a bust of Liberty with a cap and a new, more robust eagle. It started as a lettered edge coin but transitioned to a reeded edge in the 1830s. A design by Christian Gobrecht that endured for over 50 years. It featured Liberty seated on a rock, holding a shield and a pole with a Liberty cap. This series saw multiple modifications. The reverse had only the words, half-doel. In the wake of the Civil War, the motto, "In God We Trust," was added to the reverse above the eagle. Due to the rising price of silver, the weight and thus the silver content of the seated Liberty half-dollar were slightly reduced for a period, named for its designer, chief engraver Charles E. Barber ***. The obverse featured a head of Liberty facing right, wearing a Phrygian cap crowned with a laurel wreath. This coin was part of a wholesale redesign of U.S. minor coinage, dime, quarter, half, and is known for its formal, somewhat austere appearance. It remained in production through the Gilded Age and the beginning of World War I. Designed by Adolf A. Weinman, this is widely considered one of the most beautiful U.S. coins ever minted. The obverse features a full-length figure of liberty striding toward the dawn, draped in the American flag, carrying branches of laurel and oak. The reverse depicts a majestic eagle rising from a mountain crag. Although challenging to strike fully due to its high relief design, its artistic merit is unquestioned. Its design was so beloved that it was resurrected in 1986 for the obverse of the American Silver Eagle bullion coin, where it remains today. Designed by John R. Sinek, this coin broke with tradition by featuring a non-allegorical figure, statesman, inventor, and founding father Benjamin Franklin. The obverse features a portrait of Franklin. The reverse depicts the Liberty Bell with a small eagle to the right, a requirement by law for $50. A small controversy arose as some thought the crack on the Liberty Bell was a mint error. This coin represented a move toward modernism and celebrating specific American heroes. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated on November 22, 1963. To honor the beloved president, the mint rapidly moved to replace the Franklin design. The Kennedy $50 was officially authorized on December 30, 1963. Chief engraver Gilroy Roberts created the obverse portrait of Kennedy. Assistant engraver Frank Gasparo designed the reverse, based on the presidential seal used on the $50 from 1948–1963. These coins were struck in enormous numbers but were intensely hoarded by a grieving public. They are highly sentimental and remain popular with